Hi again. Today we're going to start on the engine disassembly, and we've got a heck of a windstorm going outside right now. Winds are running about 70 plus miles an hour, and it's a lot of extra noise, so just kind of bear with me. Uh, but here's what we're up against. I've already taken the head off. It looks like we've got a little play there. Really didn't think this engine would have much wear because it had less than 3,000 miles on it. But you never know. Get our puller in here. I did a little preliminary rewrapping of stuff as far as the electrical down here, because it did have some um, electrical issues when I got it. Had no spark, and actually somebody had been into it, and this is the primary coil, and there was no wire going to the condenser. So they'd been in there and they'd rerouted that to a ground here, and that's never going to work. So when I rerouted it, we got the spark anyway that way. I think I'm going to see if I can find some new coils. I don't know if you can see it or not, but a lot of the, let me see if I can get you closer here. A lot of the insulation you can see right here and right here, right here, all this is broke off in here. It makes me wonder, there's some damage to the crankshaft here where it spun. I think the flywheel came off at one point and broke a lot of this. Obviously the stuff works, but I think I'm going to see if I can't find some new stuff for it, new coils. And a little closer look at it here. Again, you can see where the insulation is broken here, here, completely gone on that one. It's obviously it's still performing its function, but it's not near as good as it should be. So if I can find some new coils, I'll do that. This doesn't look real good here, but I think it'll probably hold. It's pretty beat up on the end. I don't know, I don't know what people are thinking when they beat on the end of a crankshaft like that. I may have to try to find one. Let's see here, let's get these oil lines removed. Got a plastic washer on both sides of the banjo nuts, or bolts rather. Actually, the ones up here on the engine are copper. The ones at the pump are nylon probably. The main reason I'm pulling the engine apart, because it does run, and it did shift, but it wasn't great, is that it smokes a lot. So my thought is that the clutch side seal is out on the crankshaft where it's sucking in from the transmission. I had drained it and refilled it with 550 cc's, and here the other day when I set the engine in the stand, I drained the oil and only 450 came out. So with the running that I did to it, it's smoking a lot. I'm thinking it's sucking oil in. So we shall see. And that's the biggest thing with these, is the rubber just doesn't hold up very well over the years, and of course this is around 50 years old now. You know, I'm sure that most of you know this, but a lot of these screws on these old bikes are what they call JIS, which means Japanese Industrial Standard, I believe. And they are actually different than a Phillips. This screwdriver here is, I've got two different sizes on these, and they do hold better than a Phillips does. So there is a difference. So if you're doing a lot of this, get you a couple of JIS screwdrivers and save yourself some headache when it comes to taking the screws out. Bend back over the tab here, unbend it, I guess. We have to get socket out. And let me go on find the correct socket here. Be right back. All right, here we go. It's about 1.25 inches. Let's see if I can hold that. I'm gonna get my fingers in there. I've done that before. Will I go in there, you think? This thing is too long. There we go. Usually aren't real tight. Let me go ahead and get the cylinder off here while we're get everything down as small as I can do it so I can move it. Doesn't look like it's scored or anything, just normal wear. I'll stuff some rags down in there. Just a good idea so you, when you're pulling the pin out, you don't lose your clip. I have to move you over just a little bit. See if it'll just push out or if I'm going to have to get a wrist pin puller. Well, I think we're going to have to get the puller. think I'm going to have to get the other clip out. Yeah, I think I can get her. This is just a setup that I made several years ago, probably 50 years ago. I think I've got it quite far enough. Still being kind of cantankerous here. Get a screwdriver in the back of it there. That's the issue. It's wanting to spin on me. There she goes. There, I think I felt it come all the way through there. We just need some kind of a receiver. I've just got a little piece of pipe here that I contoured to fit the piston on the back side and brazed a washer onto the top. And it's just a round-headed bolt like that. Well, you know, I don't think I'm still out far enough. Man, that wind's blowing out there. I live on the east side of the Rocky Mountains, and we get these Chinook winds. There we go, we got her off. Let me take you out here and see See if you can really tell what's going on. Trees leaning over the top of the house. Wow. We get wind quite a bit, but this is a little extreme for us. Alright, back to this. We'll get the piston pulled, pin pulled. Just my preliminary thoughts is that it's probably going to need an oversized piston. But we'll measure that when the time comes. Still a lot of oil down inside this thing. My goodness. Yeah, I think we got a leaker. You see all the oil picking up on the counterweights there. A lot of oil in there. Yeah, I think she's leaking. All right. Let's see. I think we can pull that. And Suzuki's don't use a ball in the middle. Yamahas do. I think the Suzuki clutch pull would be a little less if they would use a ball. Let me spin this around. I think we're going on the other side now. Alright. Can you still see it? And if you're gonna work on these things, you need an impact driver. It'll just make your life a lot easier when it comes to these screws. This is the drain and the fill level screw. And these don't have a dipstick, so when you fill them, you pull this plug and fill it until it runs out. Once you get them all broke loose, then you can go ahead and take them out with your favorite screwdriver. And pay attention to the length. There's probably 4 different lengths of screws here. Let's see, looks like there is two different lengths. Got these and these. There's a little oil left in it. Not much. Get some pig mat down here in my engine stand. It will absorb all the oil. These things are just a real pain in the butt. You end up losing those pins. They fly all over the place. I'm going to try not to lose one. I usually pull these in the bike. Makes it a little easier. I don't know whether I'm going to have enough. Steady pull here to do it or not. Yep. I've just got a screwdriver that I modified with a bend on the end of it. Just get into the spring and pull it, and then pull your pin. Sometimes they'll fall down inside while you're trying to put it back together. Much prefer the screws on some of the other bikes, Yamahas, for example. I was going to lose that one. Wouldn't be a big deal taking it out, but putting it in it sure is, because then you got to pull them all out again. All right. And we have another bend over tab here on the clutch basket. Kind of get it going with a chisel and get your punch so you don't damage it more than you have to. compact sure makes easy work of it. There's our bend over tab. And there's a washer here on the back. It goes between the basket and the hub. And there we see a spring that popped out, goes over the hub there. And that appears to be all of it, so just pay attention when you take it apart, the orientation of all those items. Alright, I think I'm going to have to change the battery out here in the camera, so I'll be right back. Alright, I went ahead and got this nut off there. It's just like all the others that I've taken off so far. And I pried back this gear just a little bit, but it's not wanting to come out. So I put a puller on it. It's coming, but it just not where you can pull it off by hand. Let's see here. I don't know why Suzuki thought they needed to put the seal in from the crankshaft side. So you have to split the cases to put a seal in. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I believe that's what they did. Yep. Seals on the crankshaft side. Yamaha puts theirs over here, and I mean, it's not easy to change, but it's easier than this. It's like about a half turn preload on the kickstart spring. Pull a little tang out of the case. That's where the spring tang was in there. Just have to kind of pull down on it. Looks like about everything from this side. Get it cleaned up here a little bit and we'll turn it around. Okay, we've got the detent that we've got to remove here. It's got all kinds of little things attached to it here. A cup, a spring, a ball. Looks like about everything. And the tachometer drive, there's this bolt in the back that has a dog point on it. And the gear and the sleeve. Set this over here. And that appears to be about it on this side, I think. Let's move this around. I think I'm going to kick this up. A little easier to get. There's my other rod, clutch rod. Alright, let's see. I think I'm going to have to lift you up a little bit here. How's that? Can you see okay? Looks like I just need to get after these screws. Oh, Hunting's in there. This one's a little corroded up here, it looks like. Got one over here in front. Some crud on this one. I'm going to try to, if you got dirt in the splines on the screws, you sure want to get it out of there, because you only get one chance. If you booger it up, then you got a lot of work. Alright, I think I got them all. Nope, one right here. Again, got a bunch of trash in it. All them pretty tight. But we didn't lose one screw, so we're doing good. It's really a pain to try to get them out if you strip the heads out. Sometimes it takes machine shop equipment to do it. This one up here was the only one that was corroded. I'm not sure why I did it. It's pretty nasty, but it looks kind of like this stud does too. And again, you need to watch the orientation of these. You can really usually tell when you're putting them back in how much stick out they have. It's got a washer on it up there I'm not getting. But still, you need to kind of keep an eye on it. Yeah, if it does, it ain't coming off. Looks like we've got all these that are, let's see, we got the front and the one opposing to it that has a washer on it. And the others don't. Wonder why they did that. Screw was maybe a little too long. Oh, there's another one. Got another one here with a washer. Alright, so I'm going to make a little note right now. Actually, I'm just gonna put a little dimple right there, and right there. That's where the washers go. All the rest of them don't have washers. For whatever reason, I don't know. Alright, looks like we've got them all. I think we're to the point I need to get it out of the stand so we can go ahead and separate it. I see one more here I missed. So we can separate the cases. I think I need to take that too. Yeah, I've got it loose already. Plunger. So I think we're there. So let me take a few minutes and get this out of the stand, and we'll see if we can get it separated.